Hello my lovely people. I just wanted to go through a couple of the upgrades that I made for my Tronxy XY2 Pro, just to give you sort of beginners out there some ideas if you're looking for upgrades and things that you can do to improve the overall experience with printing and perhaps even get slightly less failed prints. So let's go through them step by step what I've done here. So I've got first most evident one here is this little SD card extender, because obviously the micro SD card that comes with this is plugged in the back, and if like me you are slicing your prints on a PC that's not near your or not close enough to your printer, whereby you have to go down the road of using the SD card, pulling it out and putting it into the little USB adapter in order to print your files. This works a little better because obviously access at the back of this isn't very good. To having to pull this thing out and reach around and fiddle about at the back to try and get the mini SD card out, it can be a bit of a nuisance. So this little I guess front mount here, I downloaded from Thingiverse, so you can find these on there, and the extender here goes right the way through. You can see the ribbon cable there, goes right the way through to the back and plugs in where your mini USB would normally be, and then you can obviously use a standard sized SD card, and that goes in there, and you can buy this ribbon extender on Amazon. I'll post the links below to all the relevant bits and bobs that I've done here, so you can do the same. But this is it's not a must-have, but it's more of a nice-to-have, I guess, and just makes life a little bit easier when you're trying to get your files onto your printer. The next upgrade I made was this little extruder, filament extruder here, Bowden one. It's an all-metal one. Again, these are available on Amazon, and they are a little bit different to the standard one that comes with it. They seem to be a little bit more reliable, I guess. I mean, the original one that was on the machine worked fine, but it did sometimes grind the filament a little bit and chew it up. And if you're using certain types of filament, obviously they're a bit more brittle and they'll snap and break mid-print, which is quite an annoying thing to do, because then you have to reload your filament. This seems to just have a bit more control, I guess, is what I'm saying. It's exactly the same stepper motor underneath, just a different top on it there, and it's all made from metal parts, so my guess is this will last a lot longer as well. And yeah, I can recommend making this update to it. The other changes I made were, you see these little bed leveling springs. You can see these are yellow. Obviously the original ones are a little bit bigger in terms of their diameter, but I found that leveling the bed could often be a bit hit and miss. Whenever I leveled the bed between prints, it would become unlevel again, I guess, maybe with the various forces going on during a print. It would seem to kind of loosen off rather than tighten it, and that would throw the whole bed out of level. So every time I printed something, I'd have to redo it. Whereas these smaller springs, they've got a little bit more, I guess, they're a little bit stronger, and they apply a bit more pressure maybe to the plate, without it, I guess, warping the plates, because obviously you don't want something that's super taut or super forceful on the plate, because you could end up bending your build plate. But they seem to be the sort of right balance. They give enough pressure, just enough so that they don't move around too much, I guess. So again, I'll add the link for where you can pick up these springs on Amazon as well. But I would highly recommend changing up springs there. The other small upgrade I did, you can't really see it obviously because I've got a print going here on both of these, But underneath this print mat, the standard Tronxy print mat that you get, in between that and the build plate, I don't know if you can make it out on the camera here. Try and focus it for you. It's hard to see it, but I've added a thin, couple of mil thick piece of steel. It's like a steel plate that's been cut to size that just sits on top of the build plate itself. It's not too heavy, so it's not again adding too much downward force on the plate itself. But having that sandwiched in between, I found that it really helps with the bed leveling sensor to detect the build plate. Because I had issues before where I had to adjust the sensor's height because the hot end was crashing into the build plate whenever I tried to run the bed leveling on the auto setting. Now with that steel plate in there, it is a certain type of steel that's magnetic, and obviously these sensors work and trigger on detecting a magnetic field. So having that steel plate in there just kind of works as almost like a amplifier to the sensor. And the sensor detects the plate a lot more accurately now, I find. Again, different people might have different opinions on this, and the build plate underneath is made from aluminium, which is somewhat magnetic, but it's not to the same degree as certain types of steel is. So I thought we'd give that a shot, and it's working out quite well, to be honest with you. If you want to just print on your standard build mat, the standard Tronxy ones, then this is it's not a big addition, to be honest, just adding a little bit of extra plating underneath there. And as you can see, the clips still fit over it, so it's only a couple of mil thick. I believe I got those on eBay. They were a little bit hard to track down because I had to get them from someone who obviously sells bits of steel cut to size. So I don't have the tools to do it myself, but I'm sure if you just bought a sheet of the right kind of steel, you'd be able to cut it yourself. And as I say, there are different types of steel, different grades that give you different levels of magnetism, so you need to get the right one. Again, I can't remember off the top of my head exactly what grade of steel it was, but I will put that in the comments below anyway. So if you're at all interested in this upgrade, then by all means. Barring that, yeah, that's pretty much the basic upgrades I've done. I've done a few other little small bits and pieces, but those are the ones I would sort of recommend to anyone who's starting out with one of these printers and just wants to increase their overall performance. But anyway, take care guys, and I'll see you in the next one.